Breaking news overnight. Police in Denver have shot a man in the city's Westwood neighborhood. Thanks for being with us. I'm Jordan Chavez.
And I'm Lauren Scafidi in for Corey Rose. This happened not far from a middle school off of Kentucky, west of Federal Boulevard.
Right now, 9 News reporter Brianna Fernandez is live at the scene this morning. Brianna, are police still out there?
Yeah, you know, within the last 30 minutes, it already cleared up. But this is where we were seeing investigators taking pictures. We were seeing evidence markers. I mean, it was a heavy police presence when we first arrived around 4 this morning. So I want you guys to take a look at some video when we first arrived and we saw Denver police here on scene. So here's what we know and how everything unfolded. Someone called Denver police about 2 people near the school around 10:30 last night. So both Denver police and Denver Public School safety officers, they arrived to the scene and they noticed a male and a female in front of the school. Police asked for IDs and then they later ran a warrant check. While police were doing that warrant check, the man asked if he could go. Police said no, so he started walking away, pulled out a weapon and started firing at officers.
He did not drop the weapon. In fact, he actually fired at the officers as he was fleeing the officers. The officers then returned fire, striking the individual who then went down.
So we actually got brand new statement within the last hour from Denver Public Schools. It says in part, 3 DPS patrol officers were on scene and have been placed on paid administrative leave by Denver Public Schools while the investigation into the shooting occurs, end quote. Now back out here live, we know that man was taken to Denver Health where he later died. According to DPD, none of the officers were injured during the shooting that happened late last night. Now as for the woman that was also here on scene, according to Denver police, she ran away while this all was unfolding. But the thing is that they still have her ID. So she's still, they know who she is and she's still considered a witness. So of course, that's what the investigation is ongoing this morning. We haven't heard back from Denver police to see if they've captured this woman. Of course, once we have brand new information, we'll keep you updated. For now, I'm live here in Denver. Brianna Fernandez for 9 News.
All right, Brianna, thank you very much. Let's give you a live look outside right now. The clouds are really starting to cover Golden right now. This is a look over the city from our camera atop of Lookout Mountain as we get ready for some severe storms to roll in this afternoon, bringing some heavy rain and even hail with them. Our weather impact team has called a weather impact alert for this afternoon.
Let's send it on over to meteorologist Jaden Knowles. Jaden, we're talking about 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah, that's right, Lauren. I mean, you got that time down to the T right there.
She's like, I gotta have my car in the garage by then.
Yeah, that's right. But so far, we are tracking that severe weather threat for this afternoon. Talking about large hail, gusty winds, and possibly even a spin-up tornado. But luckily, the wind shear that we were talking about yesterday has kind of gone down just a little bit. So that is going to help limit the tornado activity. But still, it is possible. Current temperatures, we're still feeling the cooler temperatures from that cold front on Sunday. The low 60s currently. And there is a little bit of fog out there, especially towards Akron. Visibility is very low. So give yourself some extra time heading out the door this morning. That fog should start to lift up. And we might even see a little bit more sunshine around lunchtime this afternoon before those storms start to ramp up. So far, though, live radar, not much going on. There's a couple of isolated showers, very light showers towards the high country, but I don't have a lot of rain in my forecast on your morning commute to work this morning. But once again, those showers and thunderstorms will start to increase as we head into this afternoon, starting around really 1:30 in the foothills and going all the way through 8 p.m. as it tracks towards the east. Once again, today is a little bit warmer than yesterday, 82 degrees. And those storms will start to get started this afternoon. So once again, in my full forecast, I have the details about the timing, the impacts, and really how it's going to impact your day this afternoon for the reason for the weather impact alert and the rest of the week as we head into the weekend.
A busy weather week, Jaden. Thank you. 7:04. We want to talk about the commute because we've got a new incident causing issues for us northbound I-25 8th Avenue. It's in that left shoulder and left lane this morning. It looks like we've either got a crash or a breakdown. A little bit tough to tell, but we're seeing several emergency vehicles out here. It actually looks like they're working to clear it potentially. So we have a temporary full stop of the interstate. That just happened here in the last few seconds as we are watching this live this morning. It does look like they're now allowing traffic to flow out this way. So we have 2 right lanes open and moving. We do still have, again, that left-hand side of the interstate closed. This is obviously also causing trouble for anyone trying to get onto the interstate at 8th Avenue. So please keep that in mind. This is what things look like just behind it this morning, right around 6th Avenue. It is a parking lot. We're seeing delays really come to a slow very quickly. Let's take you over and show you what this is looking like on our map this morning. So northbound I-25 8th Avenue, we're slowing a little bit past that Santa Fe split. I do also want to point out that we're not out of the woods on the southbound side of the interstate. Southbound I-25 from 76 crossing over I-70, the mousetrap here, all the way down almost to 6th Avenue. We are slow going out there. So northbound I-25 drive already jumped up to almost 30 minutes for your tech center to downtown commute. Normal is 13 or 14 minutes. We're seeing it inch up live as we look at these travel times. Only about a 3-minute slowdown on the southbound side. That's the downtown to DTC commute. 10 to 12-minute backup on westbound I-70 between E470 and 76. 9-minute slowdown here between ILIF and I-25.
Erica, thank you so much. We are also following breaking world news this morning. Within the last few hours, President Trump spoke on the phone with the tentative ceasefire agreement between Israel and Iran. He says both countries are responsible for breaking that deal within hours of it taking effect. Israel says its military detected Iranian missiles just hours after the ceasefire was supposed to start. 3 people were killed in that attack. Iran denies firing those missiles. At that time, Iran had only agreed to the ceasefire while Israel had not. Israel agreed to the ceasefire earlier this morning. According to a senior White House official, this is meant to be a phased ceasefire. Iran would stop firing for 12 hours. Israel would do the same for another 12 hours. The White House believes the U.S. bombing Iran Saturday helped get Israel to agree to the ceasefire. But after this morning's attack, Israel has promised retaliation. Though President Trump wrote on Truth Social this morning, Israel will, quote, turn around its jets, adding the ceasefire is in effect.
Oil prices have plunged more than 7%. The market was expressing relief that Iran's response to U.S. military strikes was far more limited and symbolic than feared. Oil prices started tumbling Monday after Iranian missiles launched toward a U.S. base in Qatar were intercepted. The more than 7% drop represents the biggest one-day decline since early April. The steep sell-off wiped out an initial spike Sunday night, driven by concerns Iran could lash out by targeting energy infrastructure in the Middle East.
President Trump heads to the NATO summit today as lawmakers back in the U.S. get briefed on Iran. NATO's Secretary General acknowledges Iran might come up during the summit, but analysts say defense spending will probably be the key focus. U.S. support for Ukraine is cooling under Trump. He also wants NATO members to contribute 5% of their gross domestic products to defense. Some are still short of the current goal of 2%.
Well, today, Governor Polis is in Santa Fe for the 2025 Western Governors Conference. The event is expected to cover a variety of topics, from housing and healthcare to education and wildfire recovery. Polis will moderate a session focused on collaboration between the state and federal government to strengthen career pathways and prepare all students for good-paying jobs. He is also slated to join a roundtable discussion on housing solutions and increasing the supply of housing people can afford. A new study from CU Boulder shows that wildfires have a longer-term effect on rivers and streams than we previously thought.
Researchers say that water in the area after a fire can stay polluted for up to 8 years. The study looked at more than 500 basins all across the West Coast and Rocky Mountains. It found that particles like carbon, nitrogen, and phosphorus can stick around in freshwater sources for years. Researchers hope the data they found will prove how important proper water treatment efforts are.
The whole idea behind this study was we wanted to create a sort of framework that could be used as some general guidelines for water managers in a larger region to prepare for wildfire impacts.
Colorado was an important part of the study for a few reasons. 1, the way we measure water quality. And 2, the state has experienced several wildfires over the past 10 years.
Well, your next vehicle registration renewal will likely be a little bit more expensive. The state announced that they are raising fees on certain services to account for inflation. This will be $32 to get a driver's license now starting next Monday, which is an increase of more than $1. Fees for license plates and decals are also going to go up slightly a week from today.
Tomorrow is Bike to Work Day. The annual event encourages commuters to ditch the car for a day. If you're in Parker, you can head to the Recreation Center for breakfast. From 6 to 9 a.m., you'll be able to get pancakes, sausage, and coffee. And for the first 250 people, you can get a free t-shirt. CDOT will also host several Bike to Work stations throughout the state with refreshments, bike maps, and prizes.